Hello, merry meet. So I want to review an Oracle deck. And the deck I want to review is this one, The Oracle of Mystical Moments by Catherine Wells Stein. So first let me say that the box looks really nice. It is solid cardboard. You have this little silver embossings that really looks quite stunning. I saw the picture of these cards online and I really fell in love with the art. But when I got this box in the mail, I got a little worried. And why did I get worried? Because this is an Oracle deck, not a Tarot deck. And it is about Tarot deck size, so where does the guidebook go? Because the thing is, a Tarot deck, or a Le Petit Lenormand, or a Kepler, any of these well-known decks that there are several books when it comes to tarot, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of books published about them. The guidebook doesn't matter a lot. Sometimes a guidebook comes particularly with a deck, and that is nice, and you get more of the deck creator's insights, but it isn't necessary. For an Oracle deck, however, you only have what the author provides you with, because it's not a system that a lot of people will write for. So the guidebook becomes a lot more important. And yes, that is also the problem with this deck, because you are only given a little white book, nothing else. And sorry, that doesn't cut it with an Oracle deck. So let's have a look at the little white book, shall we? It isn't actually white, it's sort of blue, but same concept. So this is then what is going to explain to you the entire divination system here. And does it do a good job of it? No, it doesn't. Basically, you have an introduction in which the author gives a blurb about her thoughts when it comes to creating this deck. And she also produces basically, you can do a one card, basically draw a card a day thing. And such. Other than that, there is no information whatsoever on how to read with this. It's only the draw one card a day thing and listen to the message. Nothing else. No spreads, no ideas how to work with it, no nothing. Especially if you aren't used to cartomancy and you're looking to get an Oracle deck, you cannot start with this one. It isn't possible for you to start with this one because you simply do not get enough information here. So yes, here we have what is produced for each card, one little blurb. So let's read one of those, shall we? Just to see how inadequate it is. 3. Sleeping Beauty's Dream. Here. Soul Journey, Power of Imagination, Inner Strength. We all know the story of Sleeping Beauty, who gets pricked by a spindle and falls into a deep sleep. This card shows Sleeping Beauty asleep. Her hair thick like thorns surrounding a castle. Imagine if your soul could wander while you sleep. What places and people would it visit? Envision what kind of journey you could have. Your soul is not tied to a certain place. It is able to tear down walls and scale edges of thorns. My soul does that all day. Like the bird Sleeping Beauty gently holds in her hand. I'm imagining his sleeping woman bird. Squawk! I might be reading a bit too into this delicate little thing. And your soul is ready to be freed and soar to all places in your dreams. No, sorry, if a sleeping woman grabs a bird, then that bird isn't gonna fly anymore. Sorry. But yes, I will stop making fun of this guidebook now. This gives you basically nothing. So if you get this deck, I hope you are adept at intuitive readings, because that will be the only thing this deck is good for. Luckily, it is a pretty good deck for intuitive readings actually, but for the meanings of them, she might just not have bothered with a guidebook at all. So, no. And the only things in here other than the card descriptions is a little bit of information on the author. That's all. The introduction, the cards, and a little blurb about the author. That's it. So, let's look at the cards. There's 52 of them. And I think that some people who are more used to tarot, wonder if that hairstyle can be done, will perhaps like this because the cards are more regular tarot size. A lot of oracle decks are huge. I mean, really, really, really huge. Perhaps not that big, but yeah, they're big. And which can be really difficult to shuffle. But these feel more like regular tarot cards in the hand. I do really like the hairstyles in these. But yeah, it's character-based deck, and by that I mean each card has a female figure drawn on it that are doing something. Now, there's nothing wrong with it being a character-based deck. Most tarot cards are as well. It has figures doing something. And it do seem like the author has tried to fit a pretty good amount of symbolism into the cards. So you can definitely sort of look at the cards and have an idea about what this means. So, yes, for example, let's say somebody had asked what school they should apply to. And I got this card here. I would sort of think that you might be happier following your own heart in it, studying the direction that you are interested in, rather than what would give you the most money or what seems the most sensible. Just to mention some. But of course it would have been nice to have some more idea about what the author thought about it. I guess she couldn't be bothered with a guidebook. And that is the problem. This is clearly a quite talented artist. I think these cards are stunningly beautiful. And then she decided one day that, you know what, I draw shit. So let me make an oracle deck. Oracle decks sell. And she didn't really think much beyond that, now did she? So, I mean, you can see how this means treasured memories. Yeah, definitely. But it's definitely much more from the author's side, and she mentions that in the booklet too, a collection of art than your traditional oracle deck. Then most of the cards are female characters, and they are in a fantasy-like setting. At least the most of them have fantastical elements. And it has a dreamlike, slightly surrealistic quality to them. And I like that. Protectiveness. No, that nest isn't very protected. But yes, I really like the look of it. I do like that for the most part these cards are frameless. You have this little one down here, and unfortunately because of the back, I'll show you that as well. There's an interesting version of a mermaid. You can't really trim that off, because that would look weird. It is... the backs, I really like them. They have this a light green color to them, and they are fully reversible, which I like if you like to work with reversals. The cardstock quality is wonderful. These are really sturdy and nice cards without being the kind of basically heavily waxed, so thick that you could probably sharpen them. There's a lot of mermaids here, yet. You could probably sharpen them and use them to shiv someone with, that most Oracle cards have. So these are pretty good at shuffling. They have a nice shuffle feel. So, I mean, there's so much thing that's right with this deck. The beautiful art, a great symbolism, where you can see it at least. The cardstock quality, the reversible backs, that I am mostly frameless, the nice box. There is so much win here, and it would also been so nice to have a really good Oracle deck that is tarot size, because I mean I use several Oracle decks and I have a problem shuffling them because they are so large that it's just hard to get your hands around them. So the problem here is that when you make an Oracle deck, you are making your own divination system. And for there to be any sense in your divination system, you have to explain it. You have to actually make a system. It doesn't work to just throw pretty pictures on cardstock and call it an Oracle deck. You have to have some more planning than that. And yeah, so basically had the author sat down and really considered what she wanted with each card and written a proper guidebook, then this would have been a really amazing deck. As it is, you get too little information. However, I wouldn't say it's bad. Anyway, these cards, at least for me, lend themselves very nicely to intuitive readings. And so they can definitely be used. So this isn't the kind of card I would do for a daily draw, because then I would probably go with some angel cards or something like that. But they can definitely be very nice for divination, and there is enough of them. A lot of these cards that only have, I've seen some decks that only have 30 cards and so, doing a layout with them can be a bit, they aren't that good for layouts, at least larger layouts, because there's too few cards. And it's a little bit different with the Normand and so, because it's designed for it. But with 52 cards, you have a lot of cards to work with. Yeah, I think we can get some use out of this deck. You get a heavy minus for the little white book, but because the symbolism is generally quite clear in the cards, and they do lend themselves very well to intuitive readings, and because of everything else being great about them, I still give them a 7 out of 10. It's a neat little deck, but I wish the author, basically this artist, had sat down with somebody who was really good with Oracle cards and done more with it. So yeah, if you are fairly used to Oracle cards and cartomats in general, and you are looking for an Oracle deck that isn't quite as large and cumbersome as many of them are, then I can definitely recommend this one. I think you could get some use out of it. And that is my review of Oracle of Mystical Moments by Catherine Wells Stein. Who was it that published this? It is US Game Systems. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this review. Have a great day, and blessed be.